blood of Lao Beijing. That's not the CCP's money. That's Lao Beijing's money. He's stealing from the Chinese people. When he says, you know what, upon further review, we shouldn't even have this joint venture. We shouldn't have this factory. You shouldn't do it. I'm going to withdraw from mainland China until the CCP stops the gulag, stops the social credit stores, stops the brainwashing, stops the forced abortions, stops the suppression of the underground Catholic Church and the evangelical church, stops the imprisonment of Falun Gong, stops what they're doing in Tibet, stops with the concentration camps of the Uyghurs, lets the Chinese people have free speech, let the Chinese people vote. And if Elon Musk is so a believer in a free speech absolutist, he's a free speech absolutist. Note to self, bro, where you're getting your cash from has 1.4 million people from arguably the oldest and greatest civilization in history, and they're enslaved right now. They got no free speech rights. So don't give me free speech absolutist. You're taking money from their oppressors. You might as well be taking money, shoveling. You might as well have Adolf Hitler shoveling cash into you. Okay? So I don't want to hear it. It's a complete nonsense. It's a complete lie. It's a complete spin. And it shows you how the mainstream media falls in with it. They're making some big case. He's meeting with ADL and he's going to set up some committee. It's all crap. It's all crap and a bunch of lies. They're the biggest racists in the world. There's no discussion about Lao Beijing and the Chinese people. You know why? Because they don't think the Chinese rate that. They think the Chinese have a different level. Oh, they don't really care about human life as much. The Asian mind's very different. The Chinese are very different. They don't really care about free. They don't really have a history of free speech. It's not a problem. You can't, the CCP tells me, what Elon Musk and these guys think, and all the elites in America and the West. Oh, the CCP, Xi has told me, and Wan Xishan, when I'm meeting with them at Davos, all the guys in the cadre say, the Chinese people are like children. They're very unruly. They're very uncivilized. They're very unsophisticated. The whole country could implode into chaos and anarchy because they don't know how to control themselves, much less a country. That's pure racism. If you want to see racism, that they don't talk to me about the poor the Chinese had to come over here and build the railroads or all the suppression in the 1920s in America, and they're sent back, oh, America's racist. No, the elites are racist. In this entire conversation, the only people that talk about this is the new federal state of China and war room. You don't see any of the mainstream media bringing it up. You don't see any of this big talk. They got these committees, and they're going to think about this, and this is going to be so important, and you got to talk right and everything like that. Hey, you're taking cash, your business partner, and you wouldn't have had the cash to pay for this by leveraging up the Tesla stock. It wouldn't be worth anything unless the Chinese had the joint venture with you in Shanghai. And that's how you got in the cash. And they're your partner. In fact, they're your paymaster. They're not your partner. They're your paymaster. And it never brings up the Chinese people because they just think the Chinese people, because CCP's told them they're too unruly, they're too uncivilized, they're too unsophisticated, they're too, chaotic, disorderly. They can't control their own lives unless we are have a lot of control. It's pure racism. If you look back about the great achievements of this society and that civilization and the people, and you look at the grit and determination of what they've done, and if you look most importantly of how they have flowered and added to every country from Canada to the United States to England to Western Europe to New Zealand, Australia, and everywhere in between of what they've done and become through their hard work, their family orientation, their smarts, and just quite frankly, their character and their grit. Okay, I will match up the Chinese pound for pound against any people in the world. So this is pure, total racism. They don't think the Chinese are worthy of it. And so since the Chinese are not worthy of it, we're not going to talk about it. It's crap. They're a bunch of phonies. They're a bunch of liars. And here's the beauty. The day of liberation for Lao Beijing is coming. And when the day of liberation comes for Lao Beijing, the whole world's going to know who were the partners of the new Nazis, which is the Chinese Communist Party, who financed them, who took money from them, who worked with them, and who worked to suppress the Chinese people. That day, trust me, is getting close to dawning. And that's what we're going to know about all the phonies in the world, all the people that held up as your betters are going to be totally exposed for how they were active participations in the enforced enslavement of one of the greatest civilizations that mankind's ever had.